Hello and welcome to the Daily Try, the daily podcast that supports you on your fertility journey. My name's Lara and today is episode 5. And today I want to talk about what it feels like when everyone else seems to be moving on and you're stuck. And this happens not just when you're trying to get pregnant, but in lots and lots of different ways. It might happen when you're, someone else, everyone's getting promoted and you're not. It might happen when everyone's got a boyfriend and you're still single. So there's lots of times this happens in life. But I think when it's something you so desperately want, like a baby, it can feel far worse because everyone is often feels like they're rubbing it in your face, even though they're not consciously doing that. That's what it feels like because you're still waiting and hoping, refreshing perhaps the screens, and trying not to have a meltdown or lose it when another announcement appears on your phone or you get another disappointment of a test result or a negative pregnancy test. And I think it's not just sadness, but it's the sadness and comparing yourself and confusion and grief and longing. And sometimes you just feel guilty overall for feeling like that. You just think, why can't I just be happy for the other person? And it's hard. And I think often as women, we beat ourselves up more about stuff. And so you feel like you're being selfish, but actually it's just what you're going through. And it's just feels like you just think, why can't I just be happy for them without making this about me? And the thing is that it is about you because it's something you want so badly. I know when I was going through my transfers at that point, both of my sister and my brother both had children. And I said to my sister said to me, I don't understand, why is it so hard for women to get pregnant? It just happened the first time with us. And I was just like, seriously? It's those kind of things that just make it so hard. It's like you feel like someone is dismissing you for trying so hard and that you're making too much effort. But if you don't make any effort, then nothing's going to happen. So you kind of you have to make the effort. But at the same time, you've got this, I feel like everyone else is having babies and finding partners and creating families, and I'm not. And it's really difficult and really hard to come to terms with that because you want it so badly. And I think sometimes when you're going through this, you feel like it's just me, but actually it's not, because everyone, even if they don't admit it, will feel like this at some point. They'll feel jealous of someone else having what they want. And I don't know what the answer is, but I think for me, when I feel like this, and I don't feel like this as much around not having a child anymore. I still do, but I do think sometimes when friends whinge about their children, I think, well, at least you've got some, and it makes it that's not a very charitable thing to say, but it is how I feel, and obviously I don't say that to them, but that is what's going through my head. And that's how often it can feel when other people are complaining about being up all night, or you're going to baby showers and you've got to buy more and more presents. And you're like, so I'm buying all these gifts for all these kids, but when am I going to have the child that everyone buys child presents for? When am I going to have that experience? And that's uncertainty and that emotional feeling around everything. It's really hard. And I don't, like I said, I should say I'm not a counsellor, I'm not a psychologist or therapist or anything. This is just me waffling on every day about my thoughts around trying to get pregnant. And I think that with this, all you can do, and this is what I was doing, was all you can do is focus on you and being kind to yourself and trying to find ways to do things that you enjoy that will distract you or take your mind off what else is going on for a while, whether that's things that people who are pregnant can't do. Drinking, anyone? No, because if you're trying to get pregnant, you're probably not drinking. But other things like, maybe they don't have the energy to do stuff, or maybe they've got children and they can't go out dancing, or maybe they can't even, if they've got children, they probably can't even go to the toilet without someone coming in. So having a long bath without an interruption is a real luxury that they would never be able to have. So spoiling yourself with things that make you feel good, and maybe make you feel like, well, they may have a child, but I can have a long bath on my own. And believe me, I know it is not the same. It's not the same. But it's just about trying to find ways that you can deal with this and get through it so that you can feel better about what's going on. Because I feel like sometimes you start dreading social events because you feel like everyone else has moved on and you haven't. You don't want to have certain conversations because you don't want to have to answer questions about when are you pregnant, what's happening, because it can feel lonely. And you are allowed to feel sad, and you still can feel happy for your friends, but you are allowed to feel sad for yourself. And you are allowed to acknowledge that this hurts. And it doesn't make you unkind or mean, it just makes you honest. Because once you can start responding to your feelings with more care, things will, you make room for more tenderness for yourself, and you start. I feel like as women, we often don't do this very well. Look after ourselves. We're so busy looking after everyone else, and even when you're trying to get pregnant, you're looking for yourself to try and get pregnant, but mentally you're not necessarily doing anything. It's all physical stuff. And I think that's the thing, is all about taking the time to look behind what you're doing and mentally look after yourself, because you're not behind. Everyone moves through life at different stages. Everyone does things at different paces, and life will carry on regardless of what happens, and you just need to make sure you're in the best position to deal with it when it does happen. And I don't know if this is very helpful, but all I'm saying is it's hard. I get it. I hear you, and I've been there, and I get jealous. I've had tears, I've had moans, and all you can do is try and think, well, I'll do me. Let me look after me. What can I do for me today? How can I help myself today? And whether that is going for a walk, whether that is getting out in the sunshine, whatever it is, it's all about trying to do something to make yourself feel better when these things happen. And that would be what I would say, try and do today. Try and do something that you will enjoy, and it will take your mind off other things that are going on. So I'm here for you, and I will be back tomorrow with another episode. And here is a massive hug, and I hope you have a wonderful day.